It's game time. The Kid Gowie. Ravens Nation. All we know is purple and black. And if you're not a Ravens fan, Welcome to Baltimore, Maryland, M&T Bank Stadium, where opponents don't make it out alive unless we bury them. Every team be afraid of them, especially all the quarterbacks, cause our defensive linemen won't hesitate to leave you sacked. Let's take a minute, go back to Super Bowl 35. Domination was an understatement up against the Giants. Numerous touchdowns, they put up numbers, and it didn't take a nutritionist to see they hunger. Only stat Kerry Collins could get was interceptions. He must have thought throwing to the D counted as receptions. The pass was legendary, but don't sleep on the present. Our secondary make quarterbacks avoid that direction. You tryna run the ball, you better hope your blockers work. You can juke, you can spin, but your destination's the turf. This is a man's game, being soft will get you hurt. Watch the defense force a fumble and the fans go berserk. 17 weeks, only one league out of 32 squads. No one's messing with our team. We all bleed black and purple, you can check our IVs. Raven Nation fly high, watch us all spread our wings. Put your game face on, embarrass the competition. You ain't talking about the greatest if the Ravens aren't mentioned. Screw every other team, cause those dudes are whack. In Baltimore, the only thing we know is purple and black. Go! They always win when the championship's on the line. So if you hoping that they failed, then you really wasting your time. Go and ask the 49ers, I'm pretty sure they remember when they made a comeback, but weren't declared the winners. 2 rings down, but you know they won't stop now. If the opposing D's caught slipping, you know exactly how that goes. That's another deep connection for 6 points in the end zone. The stadium goes wacko as Ravens put in work. Pittsburgh Steelers, that still curtain is looking more like a skirt. So tell me who they say is gonna beat them Bengals? Who used to be the Browns until they relocated? Ravens, they are one of the greatest. There's simply no denying it. To beat them, bringing your A game's a requirement. With the youth of the team, I bet they still be dominant, even after the greatest linebacker's retirement. 17 weeks, only one league out of 32 squads. No one's messing with our team. We all bleed black and purple, you can check our IVs. Raven Nation fly high, watch us all spread our wings. Put your game face on, embarrass the competition. You ain't talking about the greatest if the Ravens aren't mentioned. Screw every other team, cause those dudes are whack. In Baltimore, the only thing we know is purple and black. Go!
Welcome to another episode of szg Sports live stream on a Monday at 5 p.m. which, you know what, I like it because for me it's only 9 p.m. Usually I'm here at 10, but it's only 9, so I'm good. Means I can sleep a little bit more today. Thank you for everybody joining here. And AFC North Talk is sponsored, but what Manscaped. Go check Manscaped out. Code AFC North Talk for 20% off on their product. Their products are amazing. I've been using them. Shout out to them. They hooked me up, so it's been awesome. So, and by the way, tomorrow AFC North Talk is gonna be lit, 5:45 p.m. Eastern. Okay, let's cut up here for a moment, right? Shout out. Let me quick roll call here. Don Dimelo, shout out to you, Thomas Morgan, Bruno. Bruno broke my heart when he said Lindsay is gone, but we'll talk about that. A Tough Puppy, Team Remy, Spencer, and Gerald. What up, everybody? We will be taking calls, so if you want to be part of the AFC North Talk live, not the AFC North Talk, sorry, SCG Sports, so many things that I'm doing right now. Make sure you text me later. But I want to just do a quick roll call here. No, not that. And just give you everything that I currently see from Ian Rappaport. Big signing for the Ravens was Siler, right? So, but we'll talk about that in a moment. So Broncos return Shelby Harris, 3-year, $27 million. Chargers retaining Michael Davis, 3-year deal. Let me see here. 49ers get D4, restructure their deal. Texas add Malik Collins. 49ers signing outside linebacker Abukam. Browns, big signing for the Browns today was safety John Johnson, 3 years, 33 mil. That's one for the AFC North. Thuney from the Patriots had a huge year. 5 years, 80 mil. The first 2 years, fully guaranteed at 32.5 mil. The third year is injury only, but covered to full guarantee year 2. So 48 mil practically guarantees. That's huge. Terrence, shout out to you, man. And Jared, shout out to you. Let me see here. Linebacker Jalen Reeves signed to the Lions. Chiefs, that's the one that we're talking about, Thuney. Let me see here. Jared Davis goes to the Jets for 1 year deal. And then Jalen Mills goes to the Patriots. Patriots have been signing, man. Patriots figure out, like, we don't have Brady. Brady won a championship. We need to do something. They signed Jalen Mills. They signed Matt Judon. By the way, Judon, according to some reports, we offered Judon 16.5 last year. And he rejected it. This time he gets 16 mil per year. Let me mute this because I have this on alert now with Ian Rappaport. Let me see here. I mean, and the other deals, you know, some good, some bad. Obviously, we got one of our guys. By the way, some people are saying that Kyle Juszczyk, remember, former Raven, that we have the better fullback on Pat Ricard. Pat Ricard is a hell of a fullback, but Juszczyk is a more rounded guy. So, yep. And I think that's it. Now, let me get you the details from this deal, right? From Sattler. Sattler. Hopefully, I'm not mispronounced this dude's name already. Where is it? Because I did tweet about it, and I'm looking for it. No. Oh, by the way, what the hell the Saints are doing? Saints are restricting QB Taysom Hill's contract to create cap room. These are great. It's 4 years, $140 million. What the hell has done Taysom Hill that he's worth $4,140? I have no idea, but I guess good for him. Here's the details for our guy. Kevin Seidler, 3 years, $22.5 million deal. Okay, it's not bad. I think it's pretty good. I think the cap hit, I saw it was like 4 mil this year. Yeah, I think what the Chiefs are doing, they're pushing a lot of money for the future. They just keep pushing money for the future. Just keep pushing money to the future, and they figure, oh, at some point the bill will be due, and then we'll suck. But let's just keep pushing for this Super Bowl run. So yeah. I know all the years are voidable. So, but still, man, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, all the years are voidable. Yes, he's right. Terrence is right with that. Shout out to B. James, Bruno, Terrence, Thomas, everybody. The Jokers here. Okay. So Zach Seiler, obviously I don't watch the Giants. I haven't watched the Giants in years. They're irrelevant. But Zach Seiler last year had one of his worst years, right? He's better than when we were presenting a right guard. Although I can argue that I did love the Ben Powers. I'm assuming the Ravens think that he's not ready, or hopefully they just gonna kick him to the left guard and say center, Bozeman, TCC, or a signing. Now, Bruno said Lindsey got signed. Bruno, I haven't seen this on the wire. You might be right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just trying to find that. Steelers resigning Cam Sutton. Yeah, that's nothing deal. I haven't seen that. So if you see it, that's great. But I cannot see. Yeah, all I see right now for the Chargers is Davis, the corner. Michael Davis. Oh, I see it. Chargers are signing center Corey Lindsey to a $562.5 million deal. He's the highest paid center in the league and will get 26 in the first 2 years. Okay, gotcha. I was looking for the details. Mike Garofalo was the one that tweeted about it. My bad. Okay. Well, that's disappointing because I would have loved to have Lindsey because right now, think about this. The market has a lot of guards out there. Dooney got a bunch of money, but there was guards getting cut left and right before this deal. That helped the Ravens with this deal with Seidler. So I was saying that he had one of his worst year this year. If I see, and this is just PFF grade, guys, because again, as I said, I have not watched any New York Giants games at all. When he got cut, I was like, this is an interesting possible signing because this is where the Ravens like to shop. But 2020, his grades were 65 overall, 68 on pass blocking, 63 on run blocking. 2019, 76 grade, which is great, 75 blocking, 72 run blocking. And then in Cleveland the year before, 77 overall, 91 on pass blocking, 67. Which is funny because I saw Mike Preston, tweeting about it, and he was like, saying that Seidler was a good run blocking, but not a great pass blocking. I would say PFF disagrees. Again, not watching a lot of his film because I was not expecting that. His grades overall are fantastic. Like I said, last year he didn't have the greatest year. He allowed 2 sacks, 2 hits, 24 hurries. So he had 4 penalties. But mostly his pass blockings are higher than his run blocking. Okay, so let me see here because I see the chat being lit. You guys think it's a chance we still sign a cheap option at center as Alex Mack? Possibly. No, I'm not saying we need him, right? I mean, it will be good to bring him for depth because even though I said both of them put in center, the reality is the probability is no because they have. Think about this. We had a question mark at center last year because we don't know if Skura was ready. And they went with Pat McCarry. Even before that, when Skura got injured, they went with Pat McCarry. They did not get Bozeman, so I don't think they're going to move from Bozeman left guard at all. Let me see here, Garnett. I was question that I'm not trying to offend anybody. Why are we not sold on Bradley to center? Just because he played at college? Wait, why are we sold? I'm being so sold on Bradley to center. I'm not saying that he's gonna be great for Bozeman. Again, I don't like as a left guard. I'm not even saying that he's gonna be great as a center. If anything, I think he's probably not good at all as a center because the Ravens have not tried him at all. So, yeah, that's what I think. We need some underrated center. Left tackle, Stanley. Seiler, left guard. Bozeman at center. Right guard, Powers. Right tackle, Obie or rookie. Maybe. I'm not keeping a left guard. That's fair. Again, I don't think they're gonna move him at all to the center position. What's our next free move? I think if there's a center out there, right? I think that will be breaking news for me. Sign. Nah, I don't think this is true. Let me see. I mean, I'm surprised that we signed him for that cheap. Hold on. Let me take this off because I don't see anything through the wire right now. Can anybody confirm that? Because obviously I'm live. I don't want to, hunt for stories. I think we need to go for Galladay and Juju the Shark. So far, our report that we are in the running for. I don't think we are in the running for Chark. And I think that would be a horrible trade, to be honest. Just Orlando Brown Jr. for DJ Chark, I think 1-to-1. Not disrespect for DJ Chark, but if you have a perennial, almost getting to all pro level tackle, for cheap in his prime, nah. Oh, Skura's not on the contract. He's not on the contract. I agree with this. Probably the next likely is to trade for Orlando Brown. So let me see here. Patriots, Ravens, Giant currently in the running for wide receiver Galladay. He's a great attitude. EDC, make it happen. It's fake. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I don't know, man. I to be honest, if I was a betting man, I don't think we are in the running for Galladay at all. And why you ask? Because somebody here says Patriots, Ravens, Giants are for the Galladay. If all three of those teams are offering him the same, he wants to go where he has the most opportunity. Patriots, I'm not sure, but the Giants they do pass more, so that might make more sense. Now, of all those three teams, the team that makes the better choice if you care about winning is the Ravens, but I feel like you have to overpay for Galladay. I'm not willing to overpay for Galladay. I think Galladay's a good number 2. He ain't a number 1. He ain't not that guy if we're gonna be paying him that much money. James Hurst got paid. James Hurst? What did he got paid? Yeah, I mean the Jets make a lot of sense. They have a lot of money. Dolphins have a lot of money. Colts, I'm not sure. I mean, it makes sense, but I don't think they have the financial means versus the other two. We need to make sure. Well, let me do this because I think a lot of you might want to be joining on the. If you want to be in the short, text. Don't call. If you call, I might block you. Text at 443-292-2337. It's 443-292-2337. Just text me. I'll call you back. I put a queue on, and I'll make a line, and we can get a call. Radio score. Okay, I haven't seen anything new news. Super biased, but I got Bateman 27 or Galileo. I love Bateman, but he's also a rookie. He's still a rookie, and Galladay has shown that he can play in the NFL. Bateman, although I love him, you can go check my video on Bateman. By the way, this also, I will say this. I'm gonna take all the guards that I was gonna review out of my queue because I don't think we're gonna go with a guard and draft, not early at least. So okay, first text came in. Good. But yeah, so I'm gonna take them out. I'm gonna concentrate center for the O-line, right tackle also because idea is probably Orlando Brown's gonna be leaving soon. Edge rushers and wide receiver. Look, the reality is those are the big holes for the Ravens. Center, maybe they can patch it, right? Right tackle, not right now, but probably. Well, also Phillips might be good. This also tells you they're not believing in Phillips. Phillips was drafted as a right guard. They're saying not as a right guard, maybe as a center. I'm sorry, maybe it's a right tackle. And I did say that he played a better right tackle than he played as a right guard. As a right guard, Phillips was horrible. As a right tackle, he was okay. So they might be willing to say, okay, we might be okay with right tackle. We have tried Phillips, right guard. We have a veteran in Siler, right? Phillips didn't have a veteran. And if we find a center, your O-line next year might look Stanley, Bozeman, center X, TCC, or another one. Right guard, Siler, and Phillips as a right tackle. Okay? And then, because right now, who's your pass rush? Who knows, right? We don't have any pass rushers. And what else? And receivers, we have receivers, but you can obviously upgrade there. His kick slide is stretched though. Yeah, he needs to get better. He has a lot of issues. Not one. Phillips doesn't have one. He has a lot of issues. His best highlight was when he scooped that ball and ran like a truck. Colon Castillo is a good run blocker, but we need a pass blocker at center. I don't disagree. Phillips is not a good enough to play right guard or right tackle. Way too raw. And by the way, Tyree Phillip might be, he might be your swing tackle or replacement, right? He might be that guy. I'm not happy, but he's not on the field constantly. Okay, let me start taking some of this call. Hopefully, we don't have mic problems. Hopefully. Yo, who is this? Izana, right?
It's Susanna. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, man, did I pronounce that correctly, by the way?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. Shout out to you. Thank you for joining the live stream. As always, again, guys, Izana was a first-time caller like 2 weeks ago, and look, he's a regular now, which I love. Guys, this is one of the reasons I put this line is for you guys to get your opinions out, to have a good discussion. You can disagree with all the shit that I talk here, which is fine. So I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to be perfect. I don't know more than the rest of you. I'm just a guy here that loves football, giving my opinion. Okay, go ahead, man.
Well, first I wanted to say, my first time calling was actually when Tony was here. When he joined, and I was the one that brought up the whole build the wide receiver like a basketball team.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
not a good take at first, but yeah. What was I gonna get at? Oh yeah, I wanted to just throw this plan at you that I had for the Ravens off season.
Okay.
At the moment, I'm pretty sure the guy they just signed, Kevin. I think he's above average left guard according to PFF's grade.
Right guard.
I think that shows right guard. Yeah. I'm not sure what I just said, but yeah, right guard. I think we have way too many guards at the moment. We have like 4 or 5 of them on the roster right now.
Oh, they're gonna be
I honestly
plenty
don't know what we could possibly do with them. Yeah, I don't know what we could possibly do with them, but pretty sure I don't remember where I heard it, but apparently he's only gonna have like a $4 million, $5 million cap hit this season.
Yep.
Which leaves us with about 15 mil, 16 mil in cap space. I think we're gonna sign one edge rusher, maybe bring back Kai Bowser. And that puts us in a really good position for the draft. We'll have saved around $5 million for the draft, and we have I think like 5 top 100 picks or so, and we assume those will be quality players. But I wanted to talk about the Orlando Brown Jr. trade.
Okay.
I'd prefer to have get back draft picks for him, because since Lamar Jackson's contract is coming up, I'm assuming he's getting paid anywhere from like 45 mil to at bare minimum like 42 mil. Since that contract is coming up, I really don't want to do a player for player trade for Orlando Brown, just because Lamar, Mark Andrews, those guys are going to take up a lot of the cap.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're much better off drafting rookies that won't have to get paid for the next 4 years or so. By then the cap will hopefully have risen a lot. And I was wondering what type of trade offers would you accept for Orlando Brown Jr.?
Yeah, so a couple of things. I agree with the player. I don't understand why fans keep saying, "Oh, this player for this." No. And then the one rumor that was out there, which the DJ Shark one, right? Let me say this.
I kind of like that one. My only issue is we'll have to pay him soon.
Yeah, well, I don't dislike the idea of bringing DJ Shark. I don't like the trade.
Mm-hmm.
Orlando Brown as a tackle, the value of a tackle, and if you think he's a left tackle, even more, is so much higher than the receiver. DJ Shark is a good receiver. Orlando Brown is a Pro Bowl tackle, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a difference. I can see the Ravens saying maybe, okay, Jaguars, I'll take your second round pick in DJ Shark for Orlando Brown Jr. I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
If not, I need a first round pick. So if you say Sonny pick wise, Orlando Brown, in my opinion, should be at minimal a first plus a third or a fourth. Would I be okay with a second? Maybe if it is a top 5 second, which is almost a first, okay, but ideally it's a first, right? Like if the Jaguars want to offer the 28th pick, I think was the one that they have, fine. If not, if the Jaguars I think has a top 5 second round pick, that in DJ chart for Orlando Brown, I think that is a fair deal. But the people are saying like, oh, straight up, the Jaguars wish that it's straight up. If
Hmm.
let me say it like this: if that trade happens, I'll be the first one criticizing that trade. I think that will be a horrible trade for Baltimore. Like you said, the issue you had to pay soon. The Shark
Hmm.
might, because we're not a pass heavy offense, he might not be happy right now because he would be like, well, I'm not getting my targets, and he might be yapping. There's a lot of things that you have to consider, right? So saying all
Yeah.
that, that's not my favorite trade. My favorite trade would be straight up a first round pick. If it is a top 15, top 20 pick, you can
Hmm.
get a good right tackle, plug him there, and then you're solved. Hopefully, the tackle position with cheap young talent that can be productive. And like I said, and hopefully a third or a fourth round pick on top of that, and then you can bring. Look, now the question about the guards that you're bringing, we have I think on the roster 28 guards. Last time that I count.
Hmm.
But I think we had like 5 or 6, and the left guard
Yeah.
position is already penciled in, and now the right guard position is penciled in, and center right now as a whole, right? Could be
Hmm.
Macari, maybe can be TCC, maybe can be somebody from the outside, and then you get this Macari. I think it will make the team. And
Hmm.
Tyree Phillips is making the team, and you have one more. Ideally, maybe TCC will make the team as your backup center, but they might say, well, Macari will be the backup for both positions. The other centers, the guys from Michigan that all the other one, Powers, the guy from Michigan that I'm blanking, all those. The problem with Powers is if you cut him, he's done. The guy from
Yeah.
Michigan, you can cut him and you can shove him in the practice squad, and you're fine with that. And why you like Sonny? Why you need to keep some of these guards in reserve? Because Bozeman is up for free agency next year. I don't think they should pay Bozeman. So you keep a guy like Powers, and you say, "Yo, Powers, next year, you might be starting left guard."
You're out.
Or the guy from Michigan if he's ready, right? Because Bozeman is on the way out, in my opinion. In the case of
Hmm.
TCC, if they think he's good enough, he might be the center starting this year. If not, then again they need to bring somebody in, and then you can say TCC. By the way, TCC Tristan Colon Castillo, for those of you that don't know, I was like, oh, TCC learn for one more year, and then you can be the starter. I thought he was pretty good last year, but I'm sure he has some holes in this game. He only was there for a year.
Hmm. Yeah. I recently, I've been going through a whole bunch of Orlando Brown Jr. possible trades because most likely we're going to end up trading him unless Ronnie Stanley is willing to switch to right tackle. I don't know. Personally, I don't think there's a huge difference. Nowadays, there are a lot of really good edge rushers that come off the right side. For example, TJ Watt. So I don't know. Hopefully, maybe I prefer to trade OBJ because I don't think we'll have the money to pay him, and we're much better off trading a guy 1 year early than 1 year too late. But what what do you think about maybe doing a pick swap with a team that's like in the top half of the draft, like let's say the Chargers, and then they throw in a second or a third? If we get all the way up there, we could probably draft one of the top 3 tackles. Well, out of the top 3 tackles, I'm pretty sure it's Darisaw Slater. They're expected to go around that range. And then with the second and the third round pick, I think we'll have like 3 third round picks, like 2 comp picks in the third, and then like one from the Chargers, or
At a
we'll have
time
our
when
own
we
second, and then we could start to plug in holes. What would you think
Yeah.
about that
Okay.
option?
So I'm going back here and seeing the teams. Um. Hmm. Look, I'm okay if they wanna say. Hmm. For example, what was the team that you mentioned to swap? The
It was
Chargers.
the Chargers. There are a few teams like maybe
Yeah.
the Panthers, the Chargers, and the Vikings.
So, for example, I'm okay if I'm picking a team here. The Niners, right? The Niners need all like hell. You get that 12 overall pick, but I'm keeping my 27 pick, and I'll give them my second round pick. So I'm swapping
Yeah, I
first
would
for second.
definitely.
That's cool. That I will take. You give me your 12th overall, I'll give you my second round pick, which is I can't remember where it is, but 50 something. I think it is.
Those were the reason. Honestly, I personally those were the unbiased takes I saw from like people that actually watch the game. I mean, people that are unbiased Ravens fans, and I asked them, what do you think his value is if you traded him to a team like the Chargers? They said first round swaps and then a mid round pick. Personally, I would wonder if a team like the Jaguars, the Miami Dolphins, who have holds at tackle, they're willing to give up one of those first round picks they have. Like, I'm pretty sure the Dolphins have pick, 19, I think it is.
18.
And the Jaguars have 20, 25. Oh, 18.
Yeah.
One thing about the Dolphins pick, Rashad Bateman should be going off around that area, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, if the Dolphins...
And it's a deep tackle class.
And look, the Dolphins, if they need a tackle, they had the third overall pick. They should get Penei there. But let's say they love one of our receivers. So let's say Tua says, no, we need to get Devonta Smith. Okay, yeah, and you can go number 3, and then at 18, they can send that pick 18 with a 4th round pick to the Ravens for Orlando Brown Jr. And then at 18, we can figure out, we can maybe get a guy like Elijah Vera Tucker, or if they want to go Bateman there, depending how the receivers are slotted, right? Because at 18, let's say a lot of the receivers are still out there, you go get your tackle there. And then, if anything, if you need to trade a little bit up because you think Bateman is about to be drafted, then you can just go trade up a little bit.
Yeah, I really like this draft. It's really heavy on receiver.
This receiver on heavy on tackle.
Good tackle, and also there are a whole bunch of not tier 1 edge rush prospects, but toolsy guys that are athletic and that could develop. And I think the Ravens are probably the best team at developing edge rushers. So I think this is a really good draft class for the Ravens. But I've already been here for about 12 minutes. I'll let other people go now.
No problem, bro. Take care. Okay, guys, if you want to be part of the show, text 443-292-2337. I think in Keel for a 6 or 7 round pick will be great. If you want to do that shit, I'll do it right now. The big thing is, yes, this draft class, as far as I know, I'm still scouting. It's not great on edge rushers. So if you can get your tackle, if you fix your tackle center and let's say you get Bateman or another good receiver, then yes, your whole is edge rushers. And what the Ravens are going to do, prepare for them to draft 4. And they're just going to throw them and going to say, yo, we just, big thing with your outside rushers is putting that edge because we're going to force pressure with blitzing. So if they cannot set that edge, now we're going to bleed on the running side. So they need to set the edge. This is why I think bringing a guy like Bowser should be good / important. Jackson Goldsmith, I mean, there's a lot of big names that have been dropping. Let me see here if I see any new news. The Browns, like I said, got John Johnson. Dooney went to the nothing new. Okay, so I have another line. Remember, text, don't call, text. Okay. It's one of my guys here. It's currently on rehab, this dude. Been pulling it from the sidelines. Shout out to my guy, Garnet. What are you doing, bro?
Hey, man, what's good with you, man? How you doing, son?
I'm great, bro. I'm sorry that we didn't get you last time.
Nah, it's all good, man. Hey, I live to see another day, right?
Hey, that's exactly. My daughter was frustrated today because, my daughter is getting to that age. She's 9. That now she is and we're in a different country, so she doesn't have the proper accent. Anyway, she was going for a play and she didn't get the part, so she was frustrated. I was like, you know what? The sun will rise tomorrow. You can't get hung up in those
Right.
things. Life is too short, so just
Absolutely.
enjoy it. Hey, does it hurt? Sure, does it hurt? It feels now, it doesn't feel good. Will you get over it? We'll get over it. Move on.
Yes, sir.
But hey, I know you have
Man.
a ton you want to talk about. I know
Yeah.
my boy here wants to talk a ton about. Let me ask you first. What do you think about the
Yeah.
pick?
The pick, as in,
Kevin
you mean like
Seiler?
the pickup? Oh yeah, I'm cold, man. Dude, we, being a long time follower or listener of y'all, the AFC North, which is a great thing that everybody should subscribe to or look up to tomorrow. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just trying to do a quick little plug in right there. But anyway, so Quincy used to talk about him a lot, and then it's two ways. You got your guys that the analysts, the PSFers, and then you got the film guys. So you got the number guys and you got the film guys, and they both match up with Zeitler, bro. So it's like, well, you're like, well, PFF, he's one of the highest guards in the league. Okay, cool. And then when you watch the film, it shows. So you know how it is, man.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
No,
I was saying I agree. I think he is a solid pick. I know he is getting on the older side, but guards typically, and he doesn't have a big injury history, not that I'm aware of.
Right.
And behind him, we have so many young guys, right? And like I said, right now, I think this is Bozeman's last year because he's going to be a free agent the following year. And what you want is, assuming what the Ravens are thinking, none of these guys are ready. None of these guys are ready to prime time to be a starter. Let's plug a right guard there. We don't have to worry about that position for at least 2 years. Let's take one of these other right guards or one of these other guards and then let them learn and put in a left guard next year. And then again, you keep draft. I feel like every year they draft 1 or 2 guards, and then if Zeiler is injured, you have another guard there, or in 2 years, maybe one of these guys can be a starter.
Right. Absolutely. And no, I work my way from the line and up, I guess I should say. But yeah, Zeiler, I'm happy with it. The whole Bozeman to center thing, it's like, I want to say like this. I'm not completely against it, but I'm the type of guy, like how you just explained the guard, like we got young guards and we needed a veteran to fix that. But in the state, in the option of moving Bozeman to center, we just created it's almost like we just created the same issue to the right, to the left side now. You know what I mean? It's one of those where, like, it's like, say if we went after Gabe Jackson, right? That, like, Gabe Jackson, he would. This is the one thing a lot of people don't understand as well. I hope a lot of people understand or did some research and finally got some evidence about, or I'll say some information about, I should say. There's certain players we can get that's not going to affect our comp pick. So, that was or it won't affect the cap as well. Like how Zeitler was, it didn't really hit us. It hit us, but it really didn't hit us.
It's 4 point something to the cap this year, so it's not much.
Yeah, not much. But like with getting a Gabe Jackson or somebody that's been previously cut, I'll be all for moving Bozeman to center. Hopefully the snaps ain't bad. That's like the main thing, to be honest with you. But other than that, man, like I'll just say keep them there and then just go draft you a center if it's possible. Yeah. And that's how I feel about it. There's certain positions in this draft that I wouldn't say super deep, but deep enough to where you can like, okay, well, dang, I missed out on Creed Humphrey, but I can get a Josh Myers in the second round, or I can get the dude from Georgia. I can't think of Trey Hill. I can get Trey Hill from Georgia. He's, there's certain limitations to him, but he's a plug and play type of guy if you watch the tape. But so like I said, there's certain things, and then the tackle position, I'm gonna leave that alone because free agency and wait till what happens to figure out what the hell we're gonna do in Orlando. You know, I'll say I'm a huge fan of him. But if he wants to go ahead and get your first round or your second round. Get the best deal you can get now instead of holding on and just getting the third for him. You know what I mean? That's a whole different thing, man. How about you on that?
No, I agree. I mean, I said that we needed to trade Orlando Brown Jr. like 4 or 5 months ago. I remember when I brought it to him, Raven. He was like, I haven't thought about that. That's like, yeah, I don't think he's gonna stay here. He wants to get paid, and I don't think we had the capital to keep him. Let me say first with Bozeman. With Bozeman, he was a center in college, right?
Right.
But, and this is the point that I keep making, there's a reason why the Ravens haven't even tried Bozeman as center. Because that's weird. A guy that was the center, like Pat McCarty really wasn't a center in college. So when Skura goes down, you would think who should be the guy playing center? Well, should have been Bozeman. Okay, well, that was in between season. Maybe they didn't want to change it. But then when Skura was coming and he was looking weak, and even in the offseason, you would have thought, okay, let's train Bozeman. But there's something about Bozeman that they don't like at center. Now, also, might be that there's something about Bozeman that they love at left guard. I don't see it. I think he's an adequate guard. I don't think he's great. I don't think he's special. I think you can replace him. But maybe they love him at left guard. So I don't think they're trying Bozeman at all at center. Again, I think there's something about Bozeman that they don't like. So they probably dislike. They probably saw maybe he's not good calling protection, maybe snapping the ball and blocking right away, because that's an art, right? As soon as you snap the ball, the guy can hit you. So you have to be able to recoup yourself and be ready to just hand placement and sustain that first punch if the guy lands it well. So maybe Bozeman cannot do that, right? So I'm sure they're not trying Bozeman. I thought TCC did a great job against the Steelers, but that was only a one-game sample.
Right.
Obviously, the Ravens don't think he's better than McCarry because McCarry was the guy that got the nod over TCC. So that's, those are things that we need to figure out. There's a big hole at center. Now, with the right tackle position, I think they should trade him as soon as they can. I agree with you. I think if they don't get a first-round pick, I will lose my shit. I don't necessarily want a player for him. I will prefer a first-round pick, ideally. Now, if for some reason, right, and this is just me thinking, they have the ability to get, and I don't know what will be the equivalent, but I don't know if you remember when the Saints traded with the Seahawks and they got Unger. And they got for Jimmy Graham, right?
Right.
If you think about whoever the elite center is in the league, let's say that team is picking top 15 and they like Humphrey. They're like, we can get that kid Humphrey and we can get Orlando Brown Jr. and we're solid. Let's trade Orlando Brown for our center that is elite. That I'm okay with a player swap. And now you got a great center because this draft is pretty heavy on tackle. It's pretty heavy on tackle. So if you scout right, you might be able to have your tackle of the future there on a cheap deal, right? Because that's the other thing. It will be inexpensive. Other than that, other than a center, really, I'm not sure what other position I'll be willing to just swap for a player. I would prefer to get the draft pick and let's build this team because the Ravens don't have that many holes. What are their holes? Center, right tackle,
and
pass rusher. Receiver, is it a hole? It's a type of receiver. It's a type of receiver that you need, not receivers. It's not like the Ravens need receivers. We need a type of receiver. If it's not the right guy, like you guys might say, for example, if for some reason the Ravens signed Deshaun Jackson, right? I'm not saying that this is a rumor. I'm just making it up. Would I be excited? F no. That's not the type of receiver we need. And he is an older Hollywood Brown. We don't need that. That's not the type of receiver we need.
Absolutely. So, that goes right into my next topic. When you hit it right on, I think me and you, we discussed it a couple times before, we just had the same thought process.
Garnett, give me a second. There's a breaking news. Yannick Ngakoue to the Raiders. Yannick Ngakoue very close to a deal with the Raiders. Yep. Go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, so that's what I was sort of chuckling about when you talk about there's holes. I was like, yeah, this might have been moved up, man, because I really wanted to keep Yannick. But then again, hey, you go get your money, man. That's what he really wanted. That's what he wanted he wanted that. That's where he wants to be. But let me get back to the receiver part. Mm-hmm. The main thing with a receiver, Kenny Galladay ain't gonna take the man. I have not taken nothing away from Kenny Galladay. He made a lot of things happen off his natural abilities. But the fact that Fergus, we don't throw the ball 25 plus yards down the field. We didn't do that last year. I don't know why. I don't know why we didn't try to stretch the field out, because that would have helped the underneath game that we like to do. But when it comes to a certain receiver, like you said, we need a certain type of guy that can move the chain, yak it up a little bit, because it's just if we're not gonna change who we are offensively, like how John's saying, or maybe it might be a ruse or whatever. If we're not gonna change anything what we're doing, you get the piece that fits you the best, and that's why I say when it comes to receiver in the first round, I'd rather go that angle. They're like this. If Bateman's on the board or any of the big three is going to be gone. So let's keep real. Let's keep that real. If Rashad Bateman is there, it's a no-brainer. It's like a lot of people. How can I put this when it comes to quarterback? When it comes to Jackson. Jackson allows an error for an offensive line. I don't know if you agree with me with that.
Oh, fully. Yeah.
So it's one of those things where when it comes to that situation, it's like, okay, I just need, I need you to just hold up for give him 3 seconds. That's all I need. I'm just throwing the number out.
Let me say this. He elevates any O-line to at least half a grade. So if you have a C+ guard, he will becomes a B-. If you have a B- tackle, he becomes a B+ with Lamar Jackson because of his elusiveness.
Right.
Keep going.
Absolutely. And that's the one thing that I sort of like with Orlando. It's crazy. I'm not taking nothing away from Orlando. He is a huge young man. He takes up space and he makes you go around the space. Now, you had literally the best chance to make yourself look even more expensive than what you really are, in my opinion, due to Lamar, because a defender is not going, they're afraid to tee off the edge because oh snap, I don't want to be part of a highlight film or I'm going to whiff.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where, so that's what I'm saying. I'd rather take the chance and go round 2 if I can and get me one of those centers. But I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, if Bateman is there at number 27 or whatever, I will get me a center if I haven't got me a veteran center, and then after that, I'll go receiver, center, and then you work it from there. Just make sure. I want to maximize Lamar as much as I can before we pay him a contract, and that's the one thing that I think me and you we was talking about, that he needs to have growth in himself as a quarterback. Mm-hmm. But the fact that I want to take away every excuse that somebody can bring. Well, we never gave him a weapon, so we really never seen his full potential. Well, we gave him this. How about we maximize every avenue of approach? That's all I'm getting at.
Yeah, no.
We go ahead.
No, I was gonna say specifically with Bateman. Have you watched his film?
The only thing that he does wrong is a false step, and that's correctable. There's literally no negative other than a false step. Mm-hmm. If you to say he's small, that's there's no way. 6'1.5" to 262, 205, 210. The only question that you can literally bring up is that 40 times the 4.39. But at the end of the day, when you watch the film, he's literally running by people. Yes, he played at Minnesota. If he would have played anywhere else, if he would have played anything in the SEC, we would be speaking very different about him. Yeah. That just
so 4.39 was his 40.
Yeah, it was a 4.39.
Okay, so I expected him not to have a great 40 because what I watched on tape, and guys, I keep saying to you guys, the highlights will I will look good at highlights. You know,
Right.
I might look like the next coming of Jesus in highlights, but highlights will not tell you the story at all. Highlights are for you to get hyped. Like when you
Right.
draft a player, go watch highlight just in case if the guy is trash, you can get excited about it. Okay, saying that, why I love Bateman. Bateman is my wide receiver one. Bateman, I look, but wide receiver one for the Ravens, meaning I know the guy from LSU. He's fantastic. I think he's the number one. Now I haven't seen him in a year. I saw some tape for him from 2019. He looked great.
Right.
Smith from Alabama, I like. I think he is good. I have some concerns. I think my second best receiver is a guy that's playing tight end right now, which is Kyle Pitt. I don't think he should be a receiver. I'm sorry, I don't think he should be a tight end. I think he should be a receiver. And if Ravens would draft Kyle Pitt, which won't happen, you plug him as a receiver, that is the receiver we need. But okay, taking the dream scenarios out. Why I love Bateman? Because Bateman catches with his effing hands. He doesn't let the ball come to his body. And not only that,
Right.
balls doesn't have to come perfect. Like he played in Minnesota with not very accurate quarterbacks. He adjusts air, he adjusts on the ground. He goes all over the place. If you guys go back and watch my video about Bateman, one of the things I said was he's not going to overwhelm you with speed. And when I said that, it was he doesn't have that second gear that he can just fly. He's not Hollywood Brown. He's not going to fly, but he can run the routes and he can catch on traffic and he can catch cover. We don't have that. Hollywood Brown cannot catch cover. He can catch in traffic sometimes. And Hollywood Brown runs pretty good routes and he has the speed. But Bateman is the perfect complement. I think the three receivers, like if you have Bateman, Hollywood, and Duvernay, you have a good trio. You definitely have a good trio. And Bateman
Right.
brings you
Absolutely.
that we don't have. I'm not saying that Bateman is leaps above beyond of Hollywood Brown because Bateman will be a rookie. Hollywood will come in year 3, so he has learning things that Bateman doesn't have yet. But Bateman's abilities are very different from Hollywood. I think they can complement each other. Bateman is that guy that if he is covered one-on-one, right, against a corner, you can throw it to him and say, you get it. You fight for that ball. Throw it high, throw it a little bit behind. The dude adjusts and, oh my God, his hands. I love him. I mean, he's amazing. Those hands are amazing, which is one of my big thing with receivers, right? I hate when receivers, Hollywood does that a lot. This is the reason Hollywood drops that many balls is because he lets the ball come to his chest too much. And I think it's because he's used to the long ball. And sometimes, when the long ball, you try to cradle it, right? You spend
Right.
that dime and cradle it. So he's not used to high point the ball, which is fine. Obviously, his stature. But with Bateman, he's used to snatching the ball and running with it. And the dude is very
Right.
elusive while he has the ball. He doesn't have that, again, Hollywood Brown speed. But what he does, he's strong to stiff arm, and he has elusive and good vision when he's in the open field.
Right. And one thing, then too, I know you guys probably got another call at this, but I'm just going to be short and quick with the old Bateman. Now, next time I catch you on another show, we can talk again one-on-one. But with Bateman, man, not this year, but the year before when he played actually a full season, I believe. Well, it's a fact. He had the highest rate, win rate on a route. Like when it comes to separation, and that's the one thing that we always talk about our receivers. They don't separate.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I call him it's like a before and after shot when he catches the ball. Before the picture, before you see it, there's a defender. The after shot, there's literally nobody around him. That's how good he is as a route runner, and how Lamar is. If Lamar, like I said, I want to throw everything at him so there'll be no excuse. If he does not get better as a thrower, which he gets better year in year,
Mm-hmm.
but he goes back. He doesn't.
He goes back to old habits.
Old habits. That's what I'm trying to say. Thank you. Like he anticipation. He doesn't throw the ball with anticipation. Well, get a receiver that can separate off a route, which there's nobody's around. Guess what? He doesn't have to anticipate no more. So it's helping the quarterback out tremendously.
Yep.
That's what Josh Allen didn't become the best completion percentage quarterback after becoming before, like he didn't come because I'm so tongue tied because I'm so excited. He 2 years in a row he was the worst completion rating quarterback in the NFL. He gets digs and he becomes number one.
Yep.
It's not an accident. That's what I'm trying to say.
No,
So,
I agree.
That's all. Yeah. And that's all, man. Like that's all I have to say for now. Hopefully, everybody's listening. And if you're not listening, tell your friends to join, subscribe, hit the like button. My boy going big places fast. Y'all better get along with the ride.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Thank you. And anytime, man. Anytime you can call.
Yes, sir. I'll see you tomorrow.
Keep getting better in that knee.
Yes, sir. I will do.
Before we keep going, I'm not saying Bateman is the best receiver. I'm saying if you take the top receivers out, because the Ravens are not picking the top 5, I think Bateman, for where we pick, he is fantastic. I love Bateman. I think Bateman should be a top 15 pick. No doubt. That's what I think from Bateman, from what I see. Let's go take another caller here. Shout out to everybody that is joining the chat. The chat has been busy. Thank you for that. It's been amazing. And if there's a question that has been passing by, I apologize because there's a lot of stuff going. Hello.
Yo, what's up, man? How you doing?
This is Jacob.
Yeah.
Hey.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. How you do, bro?
I'm pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I just saw your channel literally today,
Okay.
and I saw you doing the live, so I thought I'd hop on and call.
Hey, man, we do this every Mondays. We try to give time for you guys to call and to have good discussions, bro. So make sure you subscribe. If you have other Ravens fans, you should give them my channel. I'm doing reviews for prospects. And then myself and 3 others have another channel, AFC North talk about it's all 4 teams. A Rumble. That's tomorrow in the AFC North Talk. You can go check that out. But hey, dang, man, first time caller joining the show for the first time. That's awesome.
All right. So I wanted to ask. I guess I want to cover like the edge position and kind of what do you think the Ravens should do with that? I think because I was really excited about Romeo Okwara, but it looks like the Lions got him. So where do you think we go now?
Okay, so a guy that I'm thinking might not be as expensive. Hold on here. Okay, I'm trying to see if Yannick Ngakoue to the Raider looks like it's a thing, but they haven't said the money. A guy that I think it will be a good stopgap. Maybe he can do like a 2-year deal. Will be Kerrigan, and Kerrigan's still very pretty good. You bring him and Tyus Bowser, because my biggest concern right now for the edge rushers is not the ability necessarily to rush pass. You're not gonna bring anybody that can rush the passer. They can be elite. And you're like, oh, we plug in there. That's Terrell sucks. No, you're not gonna find that guy, right?
Yeah.
You can maybe bring Clowney or Kerrigan. Those are my top 2. What you need is those 2 or whoever you bring is to be good edge defenders. And when I say edge defender, it's sealing specifically in the run side, that edge. If you lose edge containment, it's going to be horrible because we get a really good pass defense, but they're going to run the ball all over us. So if you can bring me edge rushers that at least can be good edge containers, then because the Ravens generate pass rush how? Blitzing. And that's what they're going to keep doing. They're going to keep blitzing, and they're going to say, this is how we're going to generate pass rush, and we have faith in our secondary. Our secondary next year, part of injuries, should be a little bit better with Tavon Young coming back, right? So saying that your edges need to be really good on the run side. And I think Kerrigan can do both the run and the pass. And if you bring a guy like Clowney, he potentially can do the same thing. And both should be sub 12. Around 10 is what I'm thinking for either of them. And then you bring Tyus Bowser. I'm not saying bring both. You probably can't bring both, but one of them. And then Bowser, younger, because Bowser does way more than that. Bowser also is really good on coverage. Ferguson, God help us if he can just put everything together. But I don't think so. He's your depth guy. He will be the guy that is there maybe on passing situation. You say, go try to get that dude. And I think they're going to draft like 3 edge rushers this year.
Yeah, what do you think about the edge rushers in this class? I personally, I really like Osai, and think he would be nice for us.
Yeah.
I mean, I really see any of the six. There's like 6 guys, and I really see any of them falling to us. Maybe Greg Rousseau goes early. Maybe Cordy Pay goes early. But I can really see any of them falling to us at 27. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so in the case of the pass rushing class, I was talking with the caller before that the right tackle class looks deep. I cannot say the same thing for the edge side. And the receiver side looks deep, which also, if you trade Orlando Brown Jr., I can see the Ravens saying, you know what?
Pull the trigger on receiver.
Let's say you have now 2 first-round picks. You go edge rusher and receiver, and then try to address in the second round the tackle, and say you and Phillips just battle for the right tackle position. I can see that. Now, go ahead.
I don't know. The thing with the Ravens, I don't mind if they draft a receiver in the first round, because then they're going to use them. But I feel like if they draft a receiver anywhere outside the second round, they just don't use them. And it's sad to see with like Duvernay and Prochet last year. But that's just like one frustration I've seen, because I think Duvernay can be really productive.
Yeah, I know you're new to this channel, but I was in love with that move last year. That was my favorite move, Duvernay. But I did say, and this is true. So first of all, my how do I say this? What my expectation for the draft pick is: first round picks need to start day 1. Second round picks, not necessarily day 1, but be contributed. Third round picks, not starter. Special teams maybe, but by year 2, that's when the third round picks need to be more contributed. That's what I expect from Duvernay. In the case of Roche, I'm more expecting year 3. Now next year I want him to contribute something, but by year 3 is when you want them to push a starting role. So I'm not necessarily surprised how they did Duvernay and Roche, because we had Willie Snead there, right? That's why I knew Willie Snead wasn't coming back, because that's what Duvernay's role should be this year. Okay, so you can expect more from Duvernay, and think about when we drafted Marlon Humphrey. He wasn't a starter day 1. Stanley was a starter day 1, and Patrick Queen. But even Hollywood, they sprinkle him here and there, but he wasn't like getting a lot of snaps. Well, he was injured. But second and third round picks, the Ravens not necessarily go all in. Marabuki was a higher draft pick, right? And he was a guy that was more on the rotation side. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, no, and now thinking about it, it works out in some scenarios, like what they do with Dobbins. Although we really want to put him at the beginning of the season, we kind of sprinkled him in, and you saw him starting to pick it up at the end of the year. So it does work out in some scenarios. But yeah, I think Duvernay can definitely be productive in the slot.
Yeah. So in the case of, we were talking about Bateman, and then when I talk about receivers, I
love Bateman.
I love Bateman too, and I know you're new to the show. You can go find my video on Bateman. I try to make short videos of what I think about a prospect. But in the case of Bateman is a different type of receiver and it's the type of receiver we need. For example, if you think the guy Smith from Alabama, he is good. He is good, but he's not the type of receiver we need. He's more of the type of receiver we have. Bateman is the type of receiver we need. And if we can, that's the guy that if we go free agency, which I'm not expecting, guys, I keep saying, I'm not expecting the Rays to make that big move on the receiving side. Bateman is the type of receiver. Now, pass rush is a concern. And if they trade Orlando Brown Jr., I can definitely see them going pass rush, receiver with the first 2 first-round picks, and then addressing tackle, because this pass rush class is thin. And even if you can bring a guy like Clowney or Kerrigan, that might be a 1 or 2 year gap. You bring this up. Who would I like? Okay. For the draft, if I tell you a name, I'm gonna be lying to you, because I haven't done my deep scouting on the edges right now. And when I do my scout, I go have a guy that provides me coach's tape, right? And that's when I do more. You want to watch highlights. Yeah, no, because highlights, like I was saying earlier, highlights just tell me the pretty stuff, but I want to know when he got beat. And usually what I do is I go check his stats, and then I go check who they play, and I say, ooh, they play Alabama, for example. I don't know. Okay, let me go see that game because I know Alabama has a hell of an O-line. Let me go see how he played in that game and how he did, because he might have no sacks, but he might have a hell of a game. Might have just, he barely missed, or they had to put 2 people on him. So stay tuned, because edges, I'm gonna be concentrated on edges on the next couple of videos. I was gonna concentrate on guards, but I'm gonna throw all my guards out because I don't think we should draft any guards. So we edges, centers, and receivers is the next type. And maybe tight end, because I think we need another good tight end in this team, because Lamar likes to throw to the tight end. That's some of the videos that are coming. And as we're getting more to the draft, I'm gonna have a top 5 rankings on edges, top 5 on receivers, top 5 on centers, and on tight ends, which is I think those are the biggest holes that the Ravens have. Tight end, not necessarily, because we have Mark Andrews. But think about Mark Andrews going down, and our tight end room is trash.
We didn't have a lot of depth last year.
Yep.
I think Brett Jordan from Miami, I mean, he might be like a second round pick, but he looks really nice. But I don't think we'll spend a second round pick on a tight end. We'd probably go later.
Look, last year I said there's no way we draft our running back, not before the first 4 rounds, and we drafted with our second pick. It was the second round, but it was our second pick, right? So I will not put it past. There's this kid, it's very hard for me to pronounce his last name, Pat Fearmonth. There's a video that I put out from Penn State. Love him. Not like him.
I haven't watched much on him.
Love him. Love him. So if he gets there late in the second round, would I be good with that pick? I think he's fantastic. A tough guy. Great catches. I mean, good hands. So I think, look, pass rushers should be the only defensive player that we draft, and the rest keep bringing people on offense. Keep bringing people, because our defense is really stacked, minus the edges. All right.
What about safety?
So safety, look, I like the kid from TCU. That's the last video I put this week. Yeah. I put that video this week, and one of the things I said was, he's a first round pick. Would I expect the Ravens to sign him or draft him? No, but I also said, but I was not expecting Dobbins to be drafted by the Ravens in the second round.
Yeah,
we need a free safety, but I said big need of all the needs is like on the bottom end, because I love Deshaun Elliott. Like, I do love this dude. I need to see more of him and the free safety, because he was okay as a free safety. Clark is okay. Clark is solid as a strong, but I think if you put Elliott as a strong and bring a true free safety, then it will be a nightmare for defenses.
Yeah, isn't Elliott a true strong safety?
I think in college he played both. He had a knack to finding the ball, but free safety is so hard in the NFL. It's super hard. People take it for granted. It's so hard. Some people were talking about Malik Hooker. Malik Hooker. 1 year, prove me. You say Malik here, 1 year, bet minimal. You're gonna be with this big, really good defense with really good corners. You might be able to get picks and then go get paid in the following year. He might do that, right? Like a 1 year, prove me. I think that would be good, and let him compete with Joker. I don't think CoCap is coming. I said that a while ago. I think CoCap is done here, sadly. And I think if CoCap leaves, then if Patrick Queen is ready to take the mic, that will help a lot, because now you can say, Elliott, you can become the strong safety, and Clark, you can come in packages. And I think that will be the best scenario for that. That's how you can upgrade. Will not affect your comp picks, because even though if Malik Hooker is a free agent, if you get it from bet minimal, he shouldn't. The money wise, it should be a watch, right? It should be a watch. Also, you can see the Ravens waiting for that June period to sign some of these guys, like a Clowney, like a Malik Hooker, because at that point, even if you pay them and they are considered on the comp side, but if you wait to June or after the draft, I forgot when it's the date, they're not considered anymore.
I know they were strong on Clowney last year, trying to get him, but that never Didn't they? Oh no, they tried to do the tag and trade with. They tried to pull off some three-way trade last year. Was that with Yannick or Clowney?
I know they tried with Yannick the year before. I think with Clowney they didn't try to trade for it, as far as I know. But yeah, Clowney, he got 12 mil last year, and it took him a while. So, and he got hurt again. That's the problem. Like, if you tell me, I mean, I like Clowney,
Yeah, I
but
don't want
Kerrigan
Clowney.
is more solid. Like, Kerrigan doesn't get hurt that much. I like Kerrigan, but either way, both those guys will be an upgrade to whoever, right? Because right now, Ferguson,
We don't have anyone.
exactly, it's just Ferguson, and what was this guy? He was undrafted free agent that we got last year. I forgot his name because I did talk about him last year. And he's good, but he's in the smaller side, which concerns me. Yeah, I forgot the name. To be honest, I forgot the name. But anyway.
Oh, Jahad Ward, right?
Who?
Jahad Ward.
No. Jahad Ward is a free agent. I would love if the Ravens can bring it. No. This kid, he was undrafted free agent.
Oh, shit. My bad.
And Chad, if you can remember who we drafted, we kept him in the practice squad. I'm blanking the dude's name right now. And
Chauncey Rivers?
Yeah, that guy. That's the guy, Rivers. But problem with Chauncey Rivers is he's on the smaller side. But
I think he played in the Steelers game a tiny bit.
Yeah, but right now, he's part of the 53 because you literally have no one.
Nobody.
So, but again, the Ravens create pressure with blitzing.
Yeah.
So my big thing is whoever they put on the edge needs to seal that edge. They cannot lose edge containment because then they run all over us. Remember that big run on Nick Chubb? Edge was not. That was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That edge containment was not there. Bowser over Pursue. And I forgot the linebacker that was playing in that game. Also, I think it was Patrick Peanut. He over Pursue as well. And that was the end of it, right? So we have these. I'm sorry?
We were hyping up Peanut the year after 2018, and we thought he was going to step in for CJ Mosley, but it just never happened.
No. And then our D-line right now, I know we don't have Wolf. We might bring him back. Who knows? But I have faith. Yeah, I was going to say, I have faith in Matabuke stepping in for Wolf. Ideally, you bring Wolf because they have more depth. You have Jelly behind Big Baby, and you have Marabuki ideally will be good to have behind Wolf or be the starter. But then if you have him as a starter, who's your backup? Now your depth is all screwed up. They usually draft a couple. Washington wasn't great last year. I really didn't like him much. You can think about Pat Ricard. He's okay in the defensive side. And then the guy that I like the most there behind Calais Campbell or behind
is Jahad.
Well, Jahad Ward I love, yeah. But right now on the roster will be Per McPhee. I think Per McPhee best is
he played amazing.
And but I think he is a little bit better when he gets kicked inside. So he will be good for that deportation. But if you bring Wolf, then you're solid. And Wolf should not cost you much. But you are really solid in that D-line.
Wait, is Metabuke, is he a defensive end or is he a nose tackle?
No, he's not a nose tackle. He's more DTDN in a 3-4. Like in a 4-3, he's definitely a D tackle. He's not as big to be a nose tackle, but he's very similar to that to Wolf. Wolf is tall as hell. But he's a little bit leaner, not necessarily a nose tackle. But I think in a 3-4, he's at DT. Yeah, like a DT 3-4.
Yeah. Metabuke, he looks when you see him standing next to Wolf and Calais in practice, he looks small, but he a big guy.
He's a big guy. Just Calais and Wolf are enormous.
And then one more thing. What are your thoughts on Malik Harrison? I liked him a lot last year, and I think he could definitely be a starter in the future. What are your thoughts on him?
So the thing with Malik Harrison is he looked like a rookie, right? Plain and simple, he had good moments. He has some not good moments. And you saw that the coaches start putting him less and less.
Yeah, they benched him.
Chris Bohr, a guy that's also very inconsistent, start taking his snaps. But again, typical rookie year, as I was telling you,
Yeah,
third and
linebackers.
fourth. And then for me, third and fourth round are gonna be, year one special teams. So he was more than a special teamer. This year, hopefully, he's working on his craft, and he can be more contributor because LG4, this is his last year. So next year, that position is gonna be up for grab, and he can be that guy. He can be the guy next to PQ. So I'm expecting him to be more a contributor. If he becomes less of a contributor, or you see Chris Board more in there than Malik Harrison, there's a problem there. There's definitely a problem there. Not with the Ravens, but with him. There's something that's not clicking. I'm not saying he's done or he's a bust. No. But again, where he got picked, I'm expecting year 3 is when I want him to push for a starting role, but I need to see him progression. It's all about progression. Ferguson, I said year 1, and year 2, I want to see progression, and he had the smallest progression. So year 3, he should be pushing for a starting role. Well, he's the de facto starter, but if everybody was coming back, he ain't gonna be a starter, and that's disappointing.
Ferg honestly looked better last year, maybe.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Jalen Ferguson, he honestly looked better his rookie year, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, he the problem with Fergie is he hasn't shown the ability to do more things. Like what I said during the season, and again, I know you were a follower. I said that as soon as that ball got snapped, Ferguson had like a magnet, and he got glued to whoever it was in front of him, and he couldn't move. He couldn't move that guy. He couldn't push back. He was just there, like glue, and that's not good. That's not good. He needs the edge rusher. You need to get off that guy and go rush the passer, right, in a passing situation. The only time you want your edge rusher basically engaged for a longer time is when they're setting that edge. So they're bringing that tackle with them to basically force the guy a little bit inside so the linebacker can undercut probably around that B gap. But then that's not what Ferguson was doing. Ferguson was getting manhandled every time.
Yeah, he's not it.
So, yeah, I think Ferguson, I had no faith. I mean, I want to, but I had no faith. We're probably going to have one of the worst edge group. But think about the rest. If the rest of the defense is pretty good, right? That's going to be your hole. That's going to be your hole. And again, if we trade Orlando Brown Jr., what I want is maybe to get, if the right edge rusher is there, you grab that guy and you grab the receiver, and then you figure out your right tackle position.
I think we could definitely. I think the need probably edge, wide out, and then tackle. Would you say wide out's more important than tackle, or
no? But as you follow me, look, as if you subscribe to the channel, as you follow me, you will know that I love O-line. O-line is critical. But in this draft, you might be able to find that tackle in the second round and be able to just plug him in and start. So you might be able to be good on right tackle for this year. And there's a lot of veterans out there that you might be able to sign for a decent amount just for 1 year stopgap as well. Also, there's a lot of pass rushers out there. So the market right now for free agent pass rusher is flooded. So and there's a lot of teams with caps. So you might be able to find a couple. At the receiver for me, Jacob, is just having the right guy. It's not a receiver for a receiver, right? Like, it's not like, we need any receiver. No, we need a specific type of receiver. I will say, because I'm going to be live streaming, if Bateman's there, I would love Bateman for the Ravens.
100%. Yeah, he looks amazing. I saw you talking about him earlier, so we're not going to get into it, but yeah, he looks really good.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. I think he is a great receiver.
Yeah, I just saw you probably got some other calls to go on to. So
no, you're my last one because I try to keep my live streams about an hour.
All right. Ravens or not the Ravens. The Raiders just signed Yannick to a 2-year, $26 million deal.
That's surprising. I would have thought that he was gonna get more.
Yeah, me too. But I don't know. I feel like he just wasn't a really good scheme. Not even a scheme. They just didn't use him a lot. I don't know why.
Yeah. So look again. Last year, I said before we traded for Calais, I said Calais Campbell is that type of guy the Ravens need. And then when the Yannick and Gawa, because people obviously I was bringing Calais, people were like, "Oh, we need to trade for Yannick." I said the problem that I have with Yannick is, I think he's a great 4-3 defensive end. The Ravens asked a lot more than that for the outside linebacker position.
Yeah.
And he wasn't it. He is way better. Like I don't know what the Raiders play. If they play a 4-3 defense and all he has to do is go rush the passer, I think he's gonna be good. I think he's gonna be worth that deal. But if he's not, like if they play 3-4, you're gonna see him doing similar to what he did in Baltimore.
Yeah, he's just kind of not a one-trick pony, but he's really good at getting the passer. But once you try to drop him into coverage, it just doesn't. I don't know, and I think that's why I got the decrease in snaps.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be okay. I see a couple on Twitter saying their defense is gonna suck in 2021. No, guys.
No.
Again, the big thing is whoever you bring has to have edge containment. If you have edge containment, you're gonna generate the pass rush the same way you generated the pass rush last year, through blitzing. That's it. That's what the Ravens do. That's not gonna change. We had Yannick Ngakoue and Matt Judon. How we were generating pass rush? Through blitzing. It wasn't like those two dudes who were like, go get them, right? Because if we would have those two dudes just go get them without blitzing, our defense was gonna be number 1 in the league, no doubt. Our defense was top 5. What holds us back is our pass rusher. That's not gonna get fixed this year. We knew that. That's why pass rushers are gonna be important in this draft. So I think pass rusher is one of the top needs for the Ravens. Might be the top need actually. Receiver up there, specific type of receiver, center and tackle. When we trade Orlando Brown Jr., I don't believe in Tyreek Phillips, to be honest. I thought he looked overwhelmed.
Yeah, I think I was checking out your channel time right before, and I saw you had some of like the draft tackle videos. So I'll go watch those. So you think it's a really deep class at tackle?
Yeah, so I haven't put any of the tackles yet. Those are the ones that are coming, and then the edge rusher. So those two are the next 2 positions. I try to do at least one of the videos per week. So this week I'll throw one of the prospects. If I had time, I try to do 2, but at least 1. So stay tuned for that. And then, like I said, tackle and edges are probably gonna be. I did a couple receivers, tight end, but I'm gonna concentrate more on the edges and tackles because and centers too, because those are the 3 positions that I think, depending how free agency moves, I might change my orders, right? Because I want to start scouting more the ones that I see the biggest need, and then go from there.
Yeah. What was that? I was thinking. Oh, what were your thoughts on the Zeitler move?
Loved it. It
was
super important. Now you have your right guard position is set, left guard position is set. Although I'm not a big Bozeman fan, but left guard position is set, right guard position is set, center's a hole, and right tackle is not a hole, but will be, right? But again, I think right tackle we might be able to accommodate for this, at least for this year. So we should be fine on right tackle. I feel like we are gonna be fine on right tackle.
Yeah. Is it? You think it's a done deal for Orlando that he's going?
I think he's gone, man. Look, I brought it up like 5 months ago. People didn't believe me. People were pissed that I brought it up, and I said,
really? Before?
"Oh yeah," because
I
mean, I brought it up before he said it, right?
Wow.
Because I knew, but my point was not because he was unhappy. My point was more, Orlando Brown just came out from a Pro Bowl season where he played right tackle and left tackle. He didn't miss a game. He's 24 or 5. Can't remember right now. And I said, he's going to cost you too much. We can't pay him. Go get a first-round pick. And my comp was, look, he's not as good as a guy like Tunsil, but Tunsil got a ton. And Tunsil in 5 years has had 2 Pro Bowls. Orlando Brown in 3 years has had 2 Pro Bowls. So
he looks the same basically.
Well, again, even if you think Tunsil's better, Tunsil got them 2 first-round pick and a third. Give me a first and a third. That's less than Tunsil, right? And that's what I said a couple months ago. So that's the main thing. And I still believe they should get a first and a third, first and a fourth, at least for Orlando Brown Jr. If not, EDC has failed. Orlando Brown Jr. is a guy that is moving to his peak. So a team will get a young guy that is cheap for this year. And even if you get him a deal, right? Let's say you pay him, he's still going to be cheap this year because his cap number this year is low. And even if you elevate it a little bit, you're extending that contract. So he is going to be cheap for that team. Yeah. So, yeah.
There's so much more valuable.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, so we'll see with that. I saw some rumors today where they're closing a deal for Orlando Brown and for DJ Chark, but I don't know.
No, they said that was fake, and I said it already that if that is the case, I'll lose my shit here. I will lose my shit. I think that will be Chark for OBJ is a bad trade if it is a swap. Now, if it is Chark in a first round, sure.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what goes down with that. I'm sad to lose Orlando Brown because have you seen the NFL films and just like his whole story?
Yeah, no, I'm sad. And then when I mentioned it, like I said 5 months ago, people were killing me, and I said, I know you guys love Orlando Browns. I love him too, but it's just a business thing. It's what is coming.
But I'm excited because we really haven't seen the Ravens in a while make like a huge trade and get 2 first-round picks. So we'll see what they're going to do.
If you get 2 first-round picks, man, that would be amazing. Anyway, I'll let you go. But, hey, we do this every Monday at 5. If you want to come live, if you want to be part of the show, we take callers. Don't be a stranger, man.
All right, sounds good. I'm going to watch it.
Before I let you go, where do you find out about the channel? Because I'm curious.
On Facebook? So I was on Twitter.
Okay.
And I think I was looking at like Ace. I follow Ace Boogie. He's some Bengals guy.
Yeah.
And he said the Ravens are going to start having you Engraven videos to rush the passer. And I knew who Engraven was. So I'm like, oh, who's this guy? So I just checked you out. I was like, oh, I'll hop on this, see what's up.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, me and Ace are part of the AFC North Talk. That's tomorrow. If you want to come to a really good show of all 4 teams, come join us tomorrow, 5:45 p.m. Eastern, AFC North Talk. You can search on YouTube, okay?
All right. Thanks so much for having me on, man.
Take care, bro.
You too. Bye.
So, Mr. Dre, I see you. Can we do it at 6? I would love to do it at 6. The problem that I have is it's late over here in the United Kingdom, right? I move. I used to do it at 9 p.m., but I move. Right? Look at this hair. Look at this hair. I haven't had a haircut since December. Every barber here is shut down because we're in lockdown over here. So once they open, I'll put it on my social media, my haircut. You will see the transformation from this hair to whatever the barber can do. Anyway, guys, thank you for your live stream. Tomorrow, 5:45 p.m. Eastern, AFC North Talk. It's going to be a fun one, free agency talk. We're going to talk with the Ravens side, the Browns side. Nobody wants to go to the Bengals, and the Steelers are looking for that stimulus check so they can sign somebody. Man, I still don't have anybody, man. I'm a free agent for the UK Football Premier League. I'm a Barcelona type of guy, but hey, I'm trying to look, see who. Manchester's not that far from where I'm living. I think it's like an hour and a half, so maybe Manchester United. I'm not sure yet. I'm trying to figure that out. Anyway, thank you for joining on this live stream. It's been amazing. Thank you for everybody that has been very active in the chat. For the callers, again, 5:45 p.m. on Mondays. If you want to be a caller, don't be a stranger. It's very easy. I try to make it easy. Anyway, thank you for joining this live stream. Let's see what happens. Free agency, it's only day 1. See you next time.